So today I'm over at Ricker Pond State Park in Groton, Vermont. Part of the Groton State Forest. It's the southernmost campground in the state forest here. So I figured I'd bring you out for a quick tour, if I can actually get my mouth to work correctly, and bring you guys out for a quick tour of the campground, show you around some of the sites, things like that. Start at the beginning. So Ricker Pond State Park is on Route 232, which connects into Route 302 towards the south. And the north heads deeper into Groton State Forest, where you have access to several campgrounds, some of which you'll see in a later video that I'll be releasing. That's 232 there, and this is the entranceway into the campground. Stop in at the little ranger's hut up on the front here and check in. Simple setup here. Like most Vermont state parks, they have ice and firewood available. Nice little recycling center over here. Well, this way you got a little employee parking lot, and you also have the entrance on this side of the Cross Vermont Trail. And yes, as the name implies, this trail does go completely across Vermont. So right over here. Down that way is the lean-to area. We're going to visit that area later, because they're actually doing some reconstruction of some of the lean-tos. Actually, the whole lean-to area is pretty much shut down while they're doing some reconstruction of them. So we're going to visit that area later. Now we're going to head out this way. Visit the tent camping area. A little bit of a haul here. It's actually probably about a good quarter mile or so here. This is all down what was used to be a railroad bed right here. It's all part of the Cross Vermont Trail here. So, there's an old rail trail. Right now it's also used as the road, the entrance road into the campground. So while we're working our way back to the tent camping area here, we're going to talk about the campground for a bit here. So Ricker Pond State Park has, I believe, 50 campsites. One of the campgrounds that's dog friendly, so bring your dog along if you got one. I wish I did. Nice place there. Sites are like a lot of the state parks. Some of the sites are kind of close, but it's not too bad. You can find some good gems of sites out there that have some good privacy. They also have the whole section there, like I said, that they're working on is all lean-tos. You'll see that a little bit later in this video. That part of the shot will be later this evening when I get to that. so when they're done working down there, so that area is actually kind of under a little bit of construction right now, so we won't be able to show you a whole lot, but we'll be able to show you some of it. So we got that. Place has several cabins around and cottages. So I don't remember the exact number of cabins, but they're kind of like the wooden tent variety cabins. They're just a shelter with electricity in it and some beds and a table. You can do your cooking outdoors, etc., etc. But you can set up and do all that stuff. But the cottages, those two cottages they have here, are kind of interesting because they have bathrooms, kitchens, everything in them, bedrooms. So that kind of a neat setup. We'll take a quick glance at them. Unfortunately, they are occupied, so I can't really show you too much detail on them. But we'll take a quick glance at them. We're actually heading that way now. We're going to start on the far end, and then working my way back towards where I'm camped. I'll show you some of the campsites and lean-tos along the way here. Many of them are occupied, so it'll be quick looks at them. Won't be a good detailed look, but we'll show you what we can here. So this is Ricker Pond. You can start seeing some of the fall colors starting to show up. It is mid-September right now. And yeah, there's the wind. And this is on the far end of the campground. I'm actually on the other side of the campground, on the rail trail, Cross Vermont Trail over here. So this is actually outside of the state park area. And it's part of the state forest instead. So we're going to go back and we're going to walk by one of the actually, we'll walk by the two cottages. A quick look, because as I said, they are both occupied, and people may get uncomfortable with aiming cameras at their windows. So, so here's the entrance to the actual state park from this side. On the other side of this gate here. Down that spot there is one of the cottages. That's the more accessible of the two cottages, because the other one has a bunch of stairs and stuff on it. But that's the furthest away cottage. There's a nice little fire pit area over there on the side of it and everything. A nice place to spend a night. So, if you need amenities, this is a good option for you. Plenty of water spigots around the place too. And there's the other. Yeah, I get some little babbling brooks through here too. There's the other cottage with an electric vehicle in front of it. And up here we got some of the cabins instead. As I said, these are more like wooden tents. We have a shelter and bed, electricity, table, things like that. I don't know if anything's occupied or not, so I'm not going to go up to the sites. And this is site number 33. Quiet little site over here with a fire pit. Picnic table, your typical setup. It's set up for most of the campsites, so some of them also have fireplaces in them too. Down here you get a little spur of waterfront campsites. All very occupied, so I'm going to be coming down there and disturbing people. A lean-to up here. I think it's the only lean-to on this side of the campground. Also a handicapped accessible one. People with disabilities can get in and out of the lean-to pretty easily. Another cabin up there. Some more of the waterfront sites down there. More tent camping options up this way if you want a little bit of a quiet spot there. That's site 26. Looks like it may be occupied, so we're not going to go up there. Sites 22 and 23 are down there, as well as a little access way to the water. Get to bathhouse on this side. Apparently there's a bathroom and showers and things like that in this place. Coin-operated showers. That's your little RV dumping station. Not as big as some campgrounds have, but hey, whatever works. This isn't a place for very big RVs anyway, so you don't need a big dumping station, I guess. Yeah, a lot of the sites are small at this campground, so if you have a bigger RV, this is probably not a good campground to visit. Just keep that in mind. This is kind of a small campground. Sites are a little close here, as I said, and sites are a little on the small side, but fine if you got a small camper van like mine. Okay, this is the access way to one of the cabins and site 21. You also get yourself a little piped through babbling brook here. Again, I'm not going up to the cabins because they could be occupied. That's Spice Mountain. And this is site 21 over here. Nice little campsite here. Not the most level spot, so it's good for a tent, but not really good for an RV or for camper van type of setup. But you can set up a small tent over here. And you got a view of the water from here. No place to launch a kayak from, but still, it's a quiet little campsite. Especially if you're camping with somebody you know who's staying up in the cabin right there. Kind of neat. Alright, so this is tent sites 13 through 17 up here. A bit larger sites up this way, so a little bit more room. It's probably the place to go. This is site 13, for example. Well, they're kind of quiet over here, which is good. Gives me a chance to explore these a little bit more. Larger site. Used to have a fireplace in it, but apparently it doesn't anymore, which is too bad. I've got the fire pit over there. Fairly decent sized site. Good sun if you've got solar panels. Fire pit and everything. Downside to these sites is they're right on the road there, 232. So just keep in mind during the day you are going to hear some traffic over here. Nighttime, probably not a big deal. Very little traffic goes on that road at night. And come up to site 15. Same standard standard fare. Picnic table, fire pit. Room to pull a vehicle up, pretty level. And this is site 16, a little bit more set back from the rest of the campsites over here. Good open spot. It's shady, for probably not good for solar, but doesn't look like a bad little site either. And other than being close to the road, it's pretty quiet over here. So I wouldn't mind staying up in this site. I've got one more site to see. This one's a bit more of an open site. I need to get a easier time pulling a vehicle in and out of. That's site 17. And then back down to the road over here. Okay, I'm back on the other side of the road here. Back down towards the water side. Another one of these cool campground setups. This one's actually a pretty neat setup. You got a cabin over here. Devil's Hill. Not so sure on the name of the cabin, but it's Devil's Hill. And then this is site 19. Site 19, you park up here. And then you hike down into the campsite. Right down on the water's edge, you got a fire pit and a picnic table down there. If you're careful, you could even launch a kayak from down here. Or even access it from a kayak. And my battery's almost dead. What do you know? So, kind of an interesting spot down there. So, hike down that way there. If you want some absolute privacy, that's probably the best site. If you don't mind hiking in a little bit and things like that, you get a lot of privacy. If you want to actually camp at your vehicle, probably not the best site. Alright, and this is the road where I'm camped down. This is sites 1 through 12. I'm actually at the highest number of all the sites here in this loop, site 12. This is just an extra parking area over here. And come right over here to sites 1 and 2. Kind of a neat little setup over here. Probably saw some of this in my previous video here on Occupied, so we can come in and take a quick peek before my battery dies on me. The other side of Devil's Hill Cottage over there, but so not a lot of privacy in this site, but nice open site. To come down this way, in between sites 1 and 2, you got Fred Flintstone's picnic table over here. Definitely seen better days, but pretty neat looking. And you got this nice little cove right here, I guess you can call it. I don't know what else to call it. You walk down to the water's edge down there. You got a little fire pit over here. You can sit on the log here. So I have a nice little sitting area up here between the stones that you can use. Just need some meditation time or something like that. And then you got the other site, site number 2. If you have a small group and you need 2 sites, these would be the best 2 sites to grab, because you get this whole area here that you can use them with the little fireplace between them and everything. So that's kind of a neat little setup there. Okay, this is Burnt Mountain Cabin. And here is the only cabin down in this little loop. Site number 4. Nice big site. Good little fire pit and everything. And we've got site 5 over here. This one's actually got its own little, not only just a fireplace, but a fireplace with a chimney on it. That's pretty neat. Fire in there, it's got a little chimney in it. Oh, that would be a neat one to stay at. I'll have to remember this one. And a lot of privacy. You got the site right next door again, but full little fire pit anyway. This is a small loop of small campsites over here. Site number 9. Simple one. Picnic table, fire ring. Site 10. Same thing, simple setup. Decent room though for a camper van. And a little bit of sun for solar. Site 6 is kind of neat. If it didn't have the cabin looking right down on it, this would be an awesome site, because you could put the a van lengthwise and have it open out to this nice fire ring and fireplace next to each other like this. A nice little setup here, but you lack privacy because you got the cabin looking right down on you. That's the road we had just come down from. Continue the loop this way. Site number 7. It also has one of those cool fireplaces with a chimney on the back of it. I like those. This one's unfortunately been broken. Neat setup, just too bad it's gotten broken over the years. All this stuff was built by the CCC. Civilian Conservation Corps. Whoa. He's done some artwork here. Yeah, I walked right through it without even noticing it. Huh. Neat. Yeah, this is your pavilion and bathhouse for this loop. Like your little pavilion area here. Have a group picnic or something here. Nice big fireplace, kind of neat. And somebody recently had a fire and that's still warm. Firewood for pavilion use. Some interesting pictures from when they're building some of the cottages here. And here you got a little beach access area, small beach just for the campground. A little cold though, so nobody's actually using the beach today. Not surprising, plus kids are at school and that right now. A little bench to sit on, just stare out at the water. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to launch a kayak from here, which is too bad because this would have been perfect because this is very close to where I'm camped. It's easy just to bring my kayak down here and toss it in the water, but they don't let you launch from here. So the sign over there says no boats, canoes, or kayaks on beach. Bummer. This little walking path will bring you down to the lean-to section. So this area is the connecting path that connects between the lean-to area and the tent loop. At least the tent loop for sections 1 through 12. Quiet little path. Good area for some wildlife photography. A little bit of a hill you got to climb to get up into the lean-to section up here. Anyway, as I said earlier, the lean-to section is under construction, so I had to wait a little while for everybody to clear out before we can come up into this zone. But we'll bring you for a quick little loop through here and take a look at some of the lean-tos. There's an upper side and a lower side. We're going to start with the lower side. See from some of that orange tape over there, that's some of the construction zone. That's pots of lean-to on the ground right there. So, the whole lean-to section's shut down right now, but we can give a quick overview of what the area looks like. Now down in the lower section, the lower part of it, all the lean-tos are all on one side of the road. Kind of a bit of a hill with a lot of trees on this side. But as you can see, all the lean-tos are also aimed right out at the lake pond right here. They each have a different type of flower name, like this one's Daisy. And a lot of spigots are up here. There's Iris, nice and really set down there. Park your car up here. I'm not even sure how you get down. Oh, there's the path down to the lean-to right here. You walk down to the lean-to there and you're right on the water. These are some of the best lean-tos in the entire state park right here. Sadly, this section was shut down. But they have to work when they have their open window here, and after Labor Day it gets a lot quieter here, so they can shut them down. Mellow. I like that one just for its name because I love marshmallows. Anyway. Usually a bit noisier here than it is on a Friday night, but it's okay. I like a nice little secluded one. And this one up here is a little bit closer to the road compared to some of the others, but you can actually almost drive up to this one. This one is Violet. Rose. And a few cars parked down here. They're either people working here or they're somebody down at the boat launch because this, as I said, this area is shut down. And you get down here, and this is where the boat launch site is. Alright, now we're going to go check the upper side of things. Bit more of a hill climb here. It's a little bit higher. This is getting up into the area I stayed in the last time I came up here in 2019. And I actually stayed in one of the lean-tos here with the wolf-and-ear. I actually slept in the wolf-and-ear, but I had the lean-to set up as like an outdoor kitchen area. It was nice. I liked it here. I had some privacy here. It was a little quiet there. And I'm ready to set up my hammock on the front of the lean-to. It was one of those cool setups where I had the fire pit right, I had one of those stone fireplaces right in front of the lean-to. So I had it reflecting heat right into the lean-to with me. It was nice. Yeah. And I had the wolf-and-ear parked right next to the lean-to. And nice and quiet there. So this is the upper section here. You can see one of the stone fireplaces in front of that one, Columbine. Up here they've got some more remote lean-tos up this way. You got a little parking lot here. You just park in this parking lot without tripping over rocks. And you got 3 lean-tos that you gotta hike your gear into. That one's fireweed. Look at that awesome fireplace right there. You got another one right up there. There's 3 of them up in this area here. Like I said, I'm not going to get into them deep here because things are being rebuilt up this way, so I don't want to disturb anyone. There's another one down there. There's that little path down to it. If you want a little bit more of a remote site, these ones are pretty cool. Remote without being too remote. And a bathhouse up here. That's the only bathhouse for the entire loop, of course, so everybody's got to come uphill to use the bathroom. And Blewett, that's the one I stayed in. That's the one where I had my mountaineer. I parked it in that space right next to the lean-to and was able to camp in that setup. That worked out pretty well. Got Sepia over here. I think that's how you pronounce that one. Asperia. Asperia, there we go. Not Sepia. And Daphne, that one's nice and set back. Marigold, that one's pretty good. Good size site in that one. Poppy's one of the better ones though, if you want privacy. This one's a good one. I don't think there's anybody here. I think we'll take a peek in here at Poppy. The stuff there, I'm not going to go in, but Poppy's set back and a lot of growth around it. You want privacy, that's the one. And then you got Lupine over here, and then back to the trail again. So that's pretty much the whole lean-to loop, and hopefully by next year this thing will be all built up better and more stable lean-tos, and it'll be a nice place to stay. So I'd like to come by here and try one of these waterside lean-tos sometime. And this is site 12. This is where I am. I got the fireplace and the fire ring next to each other. A nice little picnic table. And there's my setup, old fan jack. So that's the end of the tour here. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below and I'll do my best to try to answer them. But it's a nice little campground. Yeah, the sites are a little closer than I'd really like, but it's not a bad campground here, so hopefully you find this useful. And remember, hit that subscribe button down below because I do a lot of these campground tours and I try to keep you up to date. So if you want to see more campgrounds, make sure you do that. And hit the like below if you enjoyed this. And remember, slow down and enjoy life, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.